If you ever wished you could eavesdrop on powerful conversations with successful women entrepreneurs, then this podcast is for you. There are successful women disrupting industries everywhere. These are women we can draw on for inspiration, mentorship, and guidance. They walk amongst us, and it's time we discover their stories and what goes on behind the scenes of their fame and success. This is Entrepreneurs in Vogue with your host, Iman Oubou.
Hello everyone, Iman here and Jeremy, and welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Vogue.
Hello.
I am so stoked for today's show because this is a guest that I've also heard a lot of her interviews because, as you all know, I recently launched a skincare line, and a lot of the work that I have to do now is really customer acquisition and how to really get the word out there for it. So it's a lot of strategizing in terms of marketing, advertising, PR, and whatnot. So I seeked her advice in other shows and also what she writes about. And today she's actually with us on the show. So just to give you a little bit of background on her, she's a serial entrepreneur, the current CRO, Chief Revenue Officer of CONVERTPort, and the world's leading expert in CRSP. It's the scalable digital sales technology process that she uses to really keep track of all her data. But her first online venture was acquired in 2012, and she's grown 3 businesses by over 10,000% in the last 5 years. And
wow.
Yeah. And my favorite part of her bio and just her persona is her mission, which is to save 1 million entrepreneurs from being yet another business mortality rate statistic. And you guys will hear about how she will plan to do that.
That's a deep mission, Iman. That's not like a normal.
And I like that there's a number there. It's 1 million.
Wow. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Shola, right?
Absolutely. You guys will love her personality. And also just a heads up, this might be a long episode with a lot of knowledge, so brace yourself because this is really, really important. In one of my favorite episodes, it enlightens you about what it really takes to drive growth in revenue, and it's all about the customers.
No, it is about customers. Speaking of customers, Iman, I'm a customer like we all are of many things. But
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately and fortunately. But there's one business that I realized like lately has just got me. They sold me hook, line, and sinker. It's this little pharmacy like corner store called CVS.
Have you heard of it?
And the reason why I'm on is that you get a, you go to all these businesses, you get a card, a frequent like customer card, right? I got my customer card and I'm like, okay, I put the little fob on my keychain. So every time I go in, I scan it. And then they have, because you're a member, you get stuff emailed to you. You can set up email address. So all of a sudden I got, emails for 25% off any purchase in store. Then I got a 50% off any purchase online. And I'm talking every week to now every few days I'm getting a different weekly discount because every time I scan my key fob, they know what items I purchase. So they'll give me specialized sales sometimes in the week. So I found myself going to CVS way more than I should
need. It's like, just because I have a discount, I'm going to go and find something to buy. First of all, I have a card and I never get those. Maybe I put the wrong email address because I get really annoyed sometimes with businesses emailing me a bunch of stuff, but maybe I'm missing out on the good stuff. Now, when I go and let's say I just buy a bottle of water. Then you have a 10 feet receipt with all the discounts. It's like, really? And I just don't even have time to go through all of that. But I get it because now sometimes I'm like, okay, I need shampoo. And it says on the receipt, $3 off shampoo.
Right,
so you have to go back. It makes sense for me to go there as opposed to Walgreens or Walmart or whatnot. So I love that they're doing that. Another one that makes me come back to them is Sephora.
Of course, ladies.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm sure you all agree out there. But the whole, you've become a VIP customer. Now you have a free makeover. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this.
And then you jump in, right?
Yeah.
Because what those businesses really understood is the specificities of what we want and tailoring the experience. And then also they're staying in our face because I have it so that in CVS I can send the coupons from my emails to my card, to my key fob thing again. So I always kind of have it with me. So every time I buy something, I'm being engaged. Basically, they've learned that. And Shola, from looking at her history, she's like the queen of that, I think, right?
Yeah, I know she's going to have a lot of great insights to say about this. Without any further ado, let's see what she has to say about this. Hi, Shola. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me in the studio. How are you doing today, Iman?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad you're part of the show because you have such an interesting background, and I have to start off by congratulating you on all your success. I listened to a few of the interviews that you've done before, and it's so inspiring to hear, you speak about your journey. You're very well traveled, you're well cultured, you're well educated, and you have just been kicking ass in the entrepreneurship space, and also specifically in a niche that is very hard to master for most entrepreneurs. So before we go into business and revenue growth and marketing and sales, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your personal story.
Well, I am a native Washingtonian. My colorful name comes from the fact that my dad immigrated to the States to study engineering at George Washington University, and my mom's a native Washingtonian. So that really kind of colors everything that I do, sort of having my foot in the world of being a red, white, and blue American, but also having spent a lot of time as a kid living abroad. I would say that from a really young age, I've always been totally excited about entrepreneurship, and at some point I just decided to go for it.
Remind me again, where are your parents from?
So my mom is a native Washingtonian, and my father is from Nigeria. He's actually a U.S. citizen, came here in the 70s. I'm probably dating myself a little bit. Okay. But I have friends that meet me, and they call me a unicorn just because people rarely meet people who are actually from Washington, D.C.
That's awesome. So now where do you live exactly, or where are you calling us from today?
Well, I am calling you from the East Coast at the moment. I like to think of myself as tri-coastal. So I live between what they call the Mexican Riviera, which is in northern Baja, right outside of San Diego, across the border. And then when I'm in the States, several months out of the year, I'm either in D.C. or in Philadelphia, where I am now. I'll be doing some work with the folks at Wharton in a couple of months, or I'm in New York.